Hey everybody, how's it going? Have you been driving a truck for a little while looking for something new? Now is the perfect time to come over here to Crete. I'm going to share some of my reasons to come. We're going to do a few different videos, talk about it. Stay tuned. Hey everybody, this is Rick, also known as Duke City Devil Dog. Hey, I am driving for Crete Carrier Corporation. I've been driving for Crete now for just about 9 months, and I love it. And if you don't know my story, I came from Stevens. It's about a fourth career for me. Um, I worked. I was in the military, of course. I was in the Marine Corps. I was in. I worked in education for a while. I worked for a major sports retailer for almost a decade, and then with my daughter's grown and everything, I decided to come drive a truck and see the country. Started off with Stevens Transport. I had a good experience with Stevens. Learned a lot, made some good money, but when it came to about a year's time, I thought, well, let me look to see what else is out there, a little bit different, and I decided to come to Crete Carrier, and I don't regret it one bit. So, what I wanted to do is I wanted to talk a little bit about why it's the best time to come to Crete. And if you're a good driver, anytime's a good time to come to Crete. But right now, we got tons of freight, and the pay's better than ever. But I want to do a couple videos about different reasons. First thing I want to do is talk about what a lot of people always ask. First thing they ask, and they want to know about compensation. And all I can do is I can tell you from my point of view and from what I make. So let me just talk to you about a few different things. So Crete really doesn't do leases, and so if that's something you're interested in, now they will sell you a truck and they deal with that, but they don't. I don't think they carry the note. I think they hook you up with somebody else that carries the note and you go that way. But and they hire a lot of owner operators, but overwhelmingly people end up being company drivers. And when I talk to people before I came to Crete, when I talk to Crete and Shaffer drivers, if you're not familiar with Crete Shaffer family, we've got 3 divisions: Crete, which is dry van; Shaffer, which is reefer; and then we have Hunt Transport, which is flatbed. But if you come to any of those 3 companies, I talked to people from each one of them and tried to find out. And what was really interesting is I talked to people who've been driving for a long time, and some that have been driven for multiple companies, and every single one of them had the same thing to say about driving for Crete Shaffer, is that this is where they thought that they were going to retire from. They were so well taken care of, and they made such good money and had such good miles, that this is where they thought, this was home for them. And I continue to talk to people even after coming to Crete, that's their answer. So let me talk to you just about a couple things. Now we have regional dedicated routes, and those are a little bit different as far as the pays. A little bit different for that. If you want to talk to, I think what they say originally, we've got one dedicated route out of the Walmart DC in Cheyenne, Wyoming. That's probably the best pay for the company, and I couldn't tell you what it is because I haven't experienced that. But I'm going to give you the number for the recruiters, and I'm going to give you my driver code. And if you give them that information, they'll tell you what that pay level is. And I know they're always looking for people up there. But I'm going to tell you about what I do, and what I do is over the road. I do what's called 21 plus, and what 21 plus means is that you're out for at least 21 days, and you're eligible to drive all 48 states, so you're unrestricted, and that's the OTR, the over the road. It's a little hot in here. I turned off my AC because I didn't want it running while I'm talking to you. So I can tell you about that, and I can tell you about, when I came here, I had a year's experience. All right. Now, in the first 4 months that I was with Crete, we've had pay raise after pay raise because of the amount of freight and the amount that people want us to do. So right now, if you're a 21-day plus OTR driver for Crete, you're gonna start at 57 cents a mile. Now, that's not the only thing you're going to make, 57 cents a mile. Now, but right now we also have a 2-cent surge pay, 2 cents per mile. So 57 cents per mile plus 2 cents of surge pay. Now that surge pay is going to go at least till the end of the year. Now, the last couple times it did surge pay, it ended up becoming permanent. But just figure 57 cents is your base plus 2 cents, so 59 cents. Now, that doesn't include a few other things, okay? Like for instance, we just got done with the second quarter at the end of last month, and we do quarterly what are called safety and productivity bonuses. And right now, that is 4 cents per mile. And what you need to do is you need to have your safety points down below a certain level, and excuse me. And it's pretty simple to do that. And then you have to drive at least 30,000 miles during the quarter, and then you're eligible for the safety and productivity bonus, which right now is 4 cents per mile. So they take all of those miles you drove, the 30,000 plus in that quarter, they multiply it by 4 cents per mile, and that's what you make. So for me, I'll tell you, my bonus this quarter was about $1,400, so that was pretty decent. Then that doesn't also include the after a year, I believe a full year with Crete or Shaffer, you're eligible for profit sharing, which is a certain amount per mile that you drove during that period of time. I'll tell you a little bit more about that as we get closer to it, but there's additional compensation. That also doesn't include things like guaranteed detention, Gold Star benefits, and all that other stuff that you're eligible for. Now, Shaffer is a little bit different. Shaffer's the price per mile is a little bit higher than it is at Crete, and the only reason behind that is if you've ever driven reefer, you know that the miles are not the same as when you drive-in. There's a lot more waiting driving reefer, and because of that, they want to try to equate the field a little bit. So I think it's a couple cents a mile that it's higher at Shaffer. But again, if you talk to recruiters, you can find out about that. So, you know, the compensation is really good, and I will tell you that I drove a lot of miles. For Stevens, and if I wanted to compare the year I spent with Stevens, which wasn't bad, and the money wasn't bad, I put away a little bit of money, versus the first 6 months that I drove with Crete, I made more money in the first 6 months with Crete than I made in a year with Stevens. That's all I can tell you. You know, that's what I made. Now, there are other bonuses, and you notice I do tell you, you know, hey, please give them my driver code. We do have a referral bonus. That, you know, I'm not going to lie to you. If you give them my information and tell them you talk to me, I'm going to get a referral bonus, and I appreciate it. But that you're eligible from day one. You come over here to Crete Shaffer or to Hunt, and you get some of your buddies to come too, you can get that referral bonus. Now, right now, when I first came, that referral bonus was $500. You got $500 when the person you referred finished orientation and got assigned to a truck. And then you got $500 at the end of 30 days, at the end of that person driving 30 days. Well, they just changed that, all right? And the program that they just changed to is that you get $500 at the end of them getting orientation and getting a truck. And then you're going to get 1 cent per mile for every mile that person drives for the first 12 months they're with the company. That's pretty good. If you figure that what the minimum goal of Crete for you, the minimum amount if you're OTR that they want you to drive in a year's time is 110,000 miles. That's the minimum that they want you to drive. If you do that, if your people do that, $110,000, that's $1,100 plus the $500. That's $1,600 for getting somebody to come over here and drive over the course of a year. And if you have 3 or 4 of those, you know, it can be pretty good. So it's a great time to come over here, and not only for you, because you can make a ton of money, but also if you come over and you give them my information. My driver code is CARR31. I'm going to put it at the bottom. It is in the description below. Please give that to them when you call. If you don't like, calling recruiting or whatever, and you'd rather them call you, please send me a message. My address is down below. It's Duke City Devil Dog. That's all one word, all run together. DukeCityDevilDog@gmail.com. Give me your name, your email address, your phone number, and also your home address. Okay, and that way I can get it all over there, and they'll give you a call, and there won't be a problem. So like I said, it's a great time to come. Next video we're going to talk about miles a little bit, just to give you an idea about how much you can run, or at least my experience with it, and go from there. So this is Rick, also known as Duke City Devil Dog, and I'm driving for Creek Carrier Corporation. You should be too. I will talk to you soon.